Okay, going to create all of the listing documents for a new listing. I'm going to go to the opportunity. Most likely going to be under appointment, because if there is an opportunity and we had an appointment, that's where it's going to live. Go to documents, and here under listed we will see all of the documents that we could and probably will need to have for a listing. The exclusive right to sell is one we're going to need. Seller advisory and COVID advisory we're going to need. This one may go away soon. Probably already got the tax card in there. The MLS printout we won't have until we are on the MLS, and there's usually not a referral form. In here you'll see I've already put the CMA in here and the O&E. Go to under contract. There's a couple documents we can prepare now in anticipation of when we go under contract. Those are the closing instructions, which are the instructions from the buyer and seller to the title company, the square footage disclosure, and the seller's property disclosure. Seller's property disclosure includes information about the water supplier. If we don't use the seller's property disclosure, the seller doesn't want to do one, we need to do a source of water addendum, which also documents where the water comes from. But if we have the SPD, we don't need the SOW. So I'm going to open up a new window, CTMe, log in. So the client that this is for, I've sold houses for previously. Now we can hide, you see here, we can hide old files just like that. They no longer will show up on the list. And that's fine. If we need to go back and get them, we go to hidden clients with contracts. These are all the ones we've hidden. Now you can see why we hide them. If we click on Brennan Rigsby, we can say unhide. And then if we go back to e-contracts, there's Brennan Rigsby right there. Click on that again, create new contract for this client. You know, now that I'm saying this, I want to verify that we have this. His name is exactly the same. Yep, Brennan Rigsby. He doesn't have any middle initial on this property. Okay, so create new contract for this client. Here we can pick whichever document we want to create. If we do this, we can create multiple documents based off of one. So here we're going to pick an exclusive right to sell, and I can pick supporting documents, multiple supporting documents based off of that one. I think we'd need a lead-based paint disclosure on this one though too, which is not listed. Yep, 1945. That's not listed in the opportunity. We have to add that one. So we need lead-based paint disclosure, lead-based paint obligation of seller, seller's property disclosure for a residential property, square footage disclosure, closing instructions. This is usually where I just scan and make sure that's, we mentioned we're going to do as SPD, so we don't need the source of water. Don't need these. We need these. So these are forms not created by the Real Estate Commission. They were created by our attorney. The buyer advisory and the COVID advisory, except we're doing a listing, so we don't do those. We do the seller advisory and the seller COVID. Yep, that's it. So we've got that whole list, and we go create selected documents. Without being a real estate broker, you're not going to know exactly which are, well, I shouldn't say without being a real estate broker, but without more experience, you're not going to know exactly what to do and what not to do. Do most of those, but we can also talk about it before, of course. So, all right, filling this out. This is the exclusive right to sell. Seller agent. I am always a seller's agent unless otherwise told. We are a multiple person firm, so we check that box. We make sure that the name here matches the name on the O&E or on the assessor's report. This property is in Mesa County, and you can totally type that in, or you can select from that. This box is where the legal description of the property goes, and we can get that from right here. Copy, bring it over, paste it. The address of the property is 733 Minter. Oh, this doesn't automatically fill in. Minter Ave. There we go. Debec. Now, the way to spell Debec. Debec can be spelled 2 words, 1 word. We're going to spell it 2 words here, like that. And the zip code for that is 81630. All right, this is a good time to save. No, it's not. Oh well. I just realized if you save, it could put in the NA, but that's really only on a contract automatically. Okay, this is not affordable housing. Rarely are they. We're not dealing with a lease, so this box stays unchecked. We're having a meeting tonight, so I think we're going to sign it tonight. We go to 6 months, which would be March, September, October, November, December, January, February. No. To October. Yeah, it's March. March 9th. But be careful what I just did there. Got to change the year. Going into the next year, March 9th, 2021. All right, we always do will here for computation of days, so that if a deadline falls on a weekend or a holiday, it gets extended to the next business day. Leave this blank because this doesn't allow me to take both sides, or doesn't allow me to turn into a transaction broker. These are all the uniform duties, which you may understand later on. When asked, I will disclose the existence of other offers. I always check that one. Sale commission, we're going to go 6% on him. You'll see some 5 total, 2.5s. Those are for special clients or up in the Roaring Fork Valley. We charge 6% down in Mesa County. All right. This is where we put our fun 5% if buyer brought by Travis Cox. Give him a little discount if I'm bringing both sides. Any sale within 30 calendar days, they'll have to use me unless they list with somebody else within 30 calendar days of someone that we have negotiated with after the expiration of the listing period. It will go on the MLS. It will be submitted to a property information exchange. These ones are all very standard. The property address will be displayed and the listing will be displayed. Debec, we're going to use a manual lockbox in Debec because Debec gets both Grand Junction and Garfield County agents showing it, and there's 2 different electronic lockbox systems there, so we're going to just use a manual lockbox on this property. We're going to allow actively licensed real estate brokers, licensed appraisers, unlicensed assistants, and unlicensed inspectors into the home. I don't put anything in here or here. Seller represents that seller currently is not a party to and has not received a list of prospects. You can read these all if you like. Price, we haven't come up with a price yet, but we will go for a cash conventional, probably FHA and VA loans. Earnest money, we're going to say $2,000 is what we're asking for in the form of good funds, and that just means personal check, cashier's check, wire transfer, etc. He's going to take his money electronically wired. He is not a foreign person. I think there's going to be one remote on that. This, you'll have to ask me for some of this stuff sometimes. None of these exist. And we'll have to talk about this. And these are for condos, doesn't apply here. There's no water rights with this property. So we get back down here, special warranty deed is what we're going to convey with. There's no HOA, that would go in here. Possession will be DOD, delivery of deed. He does agree to do a seller's property disclosure. I always put that we will split any forfeited earnest money half and half here. Alright, we've got a bunch of clauses in here. I don't think any of them are really going to apply to this one. We are going to have a team clause soon, but I don't have it yet. We'll put this one in. What this one says is that I own the photos, or they don't have a right to the photos. Yeah, there we go. Okay, save it. Of course, I'm going to be reviewing all these, so you'll save it and send me links. Closing instructions. I'm going to start with them just because they're on top of the list, and I like to go down the list. So I'm going to put this date, today's date, in there. Now, if he signs these, we can add contract date and buyer name in there later. Who should I use on this one? Tebek is so weird. Tebek is so weird. I'm looking for who I'm going to use for the sorry, I know this does not make for good video. Yeah, hell. So there's so many good closers out there. We'll throw this one to Terry. Oh, my mistake. I'm searching by. Let's send this one to Terry Flesher. Oh, come on. There we go. What? It's Tammy Flesher, not Terry. There we go. Whew, finally got that in there, huh? So the date and the buyer's name will be filled in later. We've got in here that the title company agrees to do the title work and provide copies of the exceptions. I always do agree on those. $250 for the closing services fee. Actually, that went up to $280. Funds electronically transferred, yes. Scrolling down, no additional provisions, none of this. Yep, that's good. Save it. All right. Lead-based paint disclosure. So this one, The seller checks these boxes, buyer checks these boxes. We'll fill the buyer's name in later. Got the seller's name in there. That's truly the end of that one. Lead-based paint obligations of seller. There's nothing to fill in on here. This just tells them about their obligations. Seller's property disclosure. Most of this gets filled in by the seller. We're going to put the date in. We'll put the year per the county. 1945. We're going to scroll down through till we get to water. Here we go. This one has public water, so this well information doesn't apply. Go to the database. We're going to search for DeBeck, which is the water provider on this. Select them, and it automatically puts all that fun information right in there. That is all we do on a seller's property disclosure. Then we hit save. Excellent. All right, square footage disclosure. We have not measured the house. We are providing information from the assessor's office dated today that the property is 1404 square feet. You see it? It's right there. Heated square foot, 1404. Save it. Those are all the documents we need to list a property, and some for when it goes under contract. What I want you to do now is hit email, theonlytraviscox@gmail.com, listing docs for review. Put that in front of the address. If you don't do this, it'll clump them all together in your email because they all have the same subject line. You don't need to put anything in here, just unless there's like, I wasn't sure about yada yada. Actually, you should be able to just click that button and send it to me. Go doom 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 like this. Oh, we didn't do the advisories. Nope, they should already be done. But let's go in and look at them since we're here. So we'll back up. The reason we didn't do the advisories is they don't show up here. You have to go over to Docs Management, and they show up in this document management for the file for the property 733 Mintner Avenue. So we'll open them up and double check. Now these ones will not automatically sign for me, the other documents will. But we have to make sure that the names and everything fed in there appropriately. Yeah, this one I have to sign. So as document owner, I'm going to hit sign, sign, create signature, accept. So I just signed that. Now if we go to the other one, the COVID one, I don't have to sign that one. Only the seller or the buyer has to sign that one. So there's nothing really to be done on that. So then we go back to the e-contracts, email contracts, highlight Travis, listing documents, you could say docs, for review. Understanding that this is for my review is important. We select all of them that I need to review. And we hit email. Like I said before, I wasn't sure about. Please look at, something you want to call to my attention. Email docs. Okay, so the message was sent. Go to my email. You'll see what I see. This is what I'll get. And I'll have all of these in here to review. Yeah. Okay. That's that.